break. Government has established a debt unit to monitor the island's debt daily. The revelation from Finance Minister Chris SINCKLER during debate yesterday in Parliament on the Savings Bonds Validation Bill 2016. Mr. SINCKLER says the unit is currently busy developing a strategy to deal with the country's debt.
Offers advice to central government, to the Ministry of Finance, to the departments in government, working with the central bank to say, look, this is where you are at. These are the difficulties you may encounter. These are the opportunities you may have. This interest rate is a good rate. This interest rate is not a good rate. This is not what the market is taking. Even though you may not have investment grade, you can't accept that because you set a bad precedent. All of these things are now being done by a debt unit. And it has had able assistance from the Commonwealth. They have had assistance from the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank, of course. All of these agencies have assisted us in establishing our debt unit.
Mr. SINCKLER says the strategy should be made public by the end of the year.
People can see what debt we have incurred, what debt we have to service, what debt we are proposing to incur going forward, and put those in so that everybody has a good profile of everything that we're doing.
Construction on the multi-million-dollar hotel at Sam Lord's Castle will start on June 27th. Tourism Minister Richard Seeley says the new hotel will be called the Sam Lord's Castle, a Wyndham Grand property. He says the contract with the Wyndham Group insists that the property is held to a performance test.
Where if the hotel manager fails to meet certain targets with respect to revenue per available room over 2 successive years, the owner has the right to terminate the contract without penalty. So in essence, there is a performance test that is also put into this, this arrangement, and that in itself, I think, is also quite good.
The Tourism Minister was addressing the lower house last evening during a resolution on the vesting in the Barbados Tourism Investment Incorporated of just over 58 acres of land at Sam Lord's in Long Bay, St. Philip. He says the new property will solve the current absence of conference facilities for large events.
There is nowhere in Barbados where you can seat 400 people banquet style. That is formal setting. The conference facilities at the Sam Lord's Castle, a Wyndham Grand property. That's how it's going to be branded. The conference facilities will be able to seat 1,200 people in a formal banquet style setting, therefore giving us a significant boost in that very lucrative MICE niche, meetings, incentives, conferences, and events. It's a very lucrative niche of tourism.
The opposition Barbados Labour Party has some concerns with sections of the Central Bank Act. Opposition leader Mia Motley wants Finance Minister Chris SINCKLER to specifically address sections 47, 48 and 49. She says these sections are important to the island's stability.
This is critical because Barbadians are also asking the question, does the loss of investment grade apply to our local bonds, and therefore can we be given comfort from the government that we have nothing to worry about? And that's a normal question that anybody who is not schooled in finance will ask, because they hear everybody talking about what are the consequences for the raising of bonds, the interest rates that we must pay, and the people who are qualified to buy our bonds now because of the loss of investment grade.
Ms. Motley also wants a mature debate so the country will hear about the level of credit and if monetary stability is in danger. Meanwhile, St. James Central MP KERRIE Symonds wants Barbados, and by extension CARICOM, to be more aggressive and proactive in helping Venezuela in its time of need. The opposition member says Caracas has been very helpful to Barbados and the region over the years, offering low-cost funding and significantly reduced oil prices through PetroCaribe.
Whether that assistance be offered, sir, in the area of security and the economy, public sector reform, areas of development, we are exceptionally good. In fact, we have centers of excellence hemispherically recognized in areas, sir, of developmental importance: education, health. These are things, sir, which I honestly believe Barbados must now be spearheading. Initiatives must be forged between the CARICOM countries. I would want to think that it could be led by Barbados, but we must certainly be engaged in a serious dialogue if we are going to be of assistance in trying to promote a more happy ending to the difficulties that are being experienced not only in Haiti, but also in Caracas.
Barbados can now expect increased bilateral relations with the Republic of Poland. This is thanks to the appointment of Michael Armstrong as the Consul General of the Republic of Poland to Barbados, along with the establishment of a consulate in Bridgetown. Speaking at the official designation, Mr. Armstrong highlighted what he is looking to achieve as Consul General.
My focus will be to enhance the bilateral relations between the two countries, particularly in the areas of trade, tourism, education, and culture. And I therefore intend to use my involvement with each of these sectors to identify and progress the opportunities that can be beneficial to both in the short and longer term. My commitment is such that I have commenced initial discussions pertaining to trade and education with the relevant parties of each from a Barbados perspective.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Senator Maxine McLean, believes there is a lot of potential for cooperation between the two nations.
My ministry is encouraged by the potential for cooperation in other areas between our two countries, such as tourism and security. Also, the government of Barbados continues to be interested in concluding a double taxation agreement with the government of Poland and remains ready to receive Polish nationals as tourists and business travelers to Barbados.
And Poland's ambassador to Barbados, Peter Kazuba, believes Mr. Armstrong will be critical in improving relations.
Mr. Armstrong's personal merits and his experience as an entrepreneur shall strengthen the political, economical, cultural relations between our two countries, as well as the people-to-people interaction.
A routine stop and search conducted by police in the wee hours of the morning last Friday has resulted in a St. Thomas man being arrested on gun charges. 23-year-old Jaleel Kevon Lemon of Sturgis, Welchman Hall was reportedly a passenger in a vehicle traveling along Cane Garden Road around 12:15 a.m. when police on patrol doing traffic checks stopped a car. During the search, lawmen reportedly discovered a Beretta handgun. Police say they then found 11 rounds of ammunition in his pants pocket. When Lemon appears in court, he will face charges for unlawful possession of a firearm and unlawful possession of ammunition. We'll be back after the break with regional and international news. Stay with us.